Assalamu alaikum dear students, myself Suhail, and today we will discuss about multiples. So what are multiples? As you can see on the screen, multiple is a number that is a product of two numbers. In other words, multiple is a product of two or more numbers. So to get multiples of a given number, the number should be multiplied by the counting numbers. Example 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on up to infinity. So students, multiple is the product of two numbers. Suppose if I write here 2 multiplied by 3, that is 6. So here these two numbers, when we multiply them together, we obtain a product. So this product is the multiple of 2 and 3. That means 6 is the multiple of 2 and 3. So in other words, multiple is a product of two or more numbers. Two or more factors. So here, these two numbers, 2 and 3, are factors of 6. So we can say that when we multiply two factors together, what we obtain, that is the multiple. So here we have multiplied 2 with 3. These 2 and 3 are factors, and what we obtain, that is 6, that is the product, and here we call it as multiple. So how do we get multiples of a number? That's another question for us. We get them by multiplying the number by counting numbers. What are counting numbers now? Counting numbers are those numbers which start from 1 and continue up to infinity. What is infinity? Infinity is like this: INFINITY. Infinity. Infinity is a word which means endless. That means infinity is a word that has no end. So counting numbers, they have no end. Another name for counting numbers is natural numbers. So numbers that start from 1 and continue up to infinity are said to be as counting numbers or natural numbers. So whenever we have to obtain multiples of a number, what we do, we multiply that number by counting numbers. Suppose we will take example of 3 here. So find multiples of 3. How can we find multiples of 3? We will multiply this 3 by counting numbers. Here, what are counting numbers that start from 1? 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. 3 multiplied by 4 is 12. 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. 3 multiplied by 6 is 18. 3 multiplied by 7 is 21. And continuing, 3 multiplied by 8 is 24. 3 multiplied by 9 is 27. 3 multiplied by 10 is 30. 3 multiplied by 11 is 33. 3 multiplied by 12 is 36, and so on. We can multiply 3 with 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and continuing. The numbers here we obtained at the end are these numbers at the end when we multiply 3 by counting numbers. Here counting numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 12. I have stopped at 12. We can write 13, 14, 15 as well. And what we obtained are said to be as multiples of 3. So we can say that multiples of 3 are, so here we can write them: 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36 and so on. So these numbers we multiply 3 by counting numbers and obtain these numbers, and these numbers are said to be multiples of 3. There is one more method through which we can find multiples of 3. We can use a simple method when we multiply 3 with counting numbers, we can write them as multiples of 3 are. So we can write them as 3 multiplied by 1 is 3, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9, 3 multiplied by 4 is 12, 3 multiplied by 5 is 15, 3 multiplied by 6 is 18, 3 multiplied by 7 is 21, 3 multiplied by 8 is 24, 3 multiplied by 9 is 27, and so on. We can write them in this fashion as well, and I showed you before we can write multiples of 3 in that type as well. So I am going to give you one more example of another number. Say we will take now 5. So we will find multiples of 5. In the same case, 5 multiplied by 1 is 5, 5 multiplied by 2 is 10, 5 multiplied by 3 is 15, 5 multiplied by 4 is 20, 5 multiplied by 5 is 25, 5 multiplied by 6 is 30, 5 multiplied by 7 is 35, and continuing 5 multiplied by 8 is 40, 5 multiplied by 9 is 45, and so on. So I am stopping here, and these are now the multiples of 5. So this 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, these are now multiples of 5. What I have done, I have multiplied this 5 with counting numbers. So we can say that these numbers here, if we pick any number, suppose I will choose this number 5 multiplied by 3. 5 multiplied by 3 is 15. So here what we learned that 5 and 3 are factors of 15, and 15 is multiple here. 15 is multiple of 5 and 3. 15 is the multiple of 5 and 3. 15 is multiple of both these numbers, and both these numbers are factors of 15. Students, if you have here equation that is what is the fifth multiple of 5, so we will count here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we can say that 25 is the fifth multiple of 5, and we can do it in another way. What is the fifth multiple of 5? So we will multiply 5 by fifth. Fifth is 5, that means 5 are 25. So we can say that fifth multiple of 5 is 25. So there will be a same question. What is the ninth multiple of 5? We will count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this 45 is the ninth multiple of 5. So in another way we can do it like this. What is the ninth multiple of 5? That means 5 multiplied by ninth, that is 9, 5, 9 are 45. So we can say that 45 is the ninth multiple of 5. So students, here we learned what are multiples, how we can find multiples. Students, let me tell you in a brief few points regarding multiples. So we can say that every number is the multiple of itself. Here we have got 5, and the first multiple for 5 is 5. So we can say that every number is a multiple of itself, and we can also say that first multiple of every number is the number itself, and we can also say that first multiple of every number is equal to the number, and all the other multiples are greater than the number. And we can even say that smallest multiple of every number is the number itself. So this was all about multiples. In next video we will go for common multiples, and is one number a multiple of another number or not. How to find that, we will do them in our next video. And like and share as much as you can this video. Plus, you have to subscribe this channel and press the bell icon. Inshallah, we will meet in our next video. Till then, Allah Hafiz.